Morning guys, so Monday morning we're back in our kitchen and we're getting there now. We're going to start the worktop shortly. We've got the breakfast bar in, we've got our wine cooler section there, so that's set perfectly. So we've got a corner bracket there, obviously these are also bracing. This is all nice and square. It might need a little tweak once we get the worktops on, but that's why it's not fixed properly yet. That's all fixed. Ricky's just working on the under cabinet lighting. He's put the light pelmet in all the way around, so they just need to be wired up. He's done that one. That should do that. There you go. So that one's up and working. So we just got to come round there and round there. We're not doing that cabinet. They weren't bothered about getting that one done because it would have meant running a whole new cable over to here, and they just said don't worry about that one. It's only one cabinet. That's where we're at so far. We're just about to make a start on the worktops. So I believe we've got to do, because with Wren they come pre-cut. They've got two 2-metre ones. I think there's a 3-metre one, and then the breakfast bar is well oversized. So I think that one goes there, but these are numbered and they do go in a specific place. So we have to make sure we get them in the right place because they are veneered, pre-veneered on the edges. So we're going to work that out now. So don't forget guys, like, share, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you very soon. Okay guys, so what we've done, scribed this worktop in. As you can see, it's quite a nice fit all the way around. We've laid our other worktop on top and we've marked our edge. So now we need to remove this edge banding here. So we'll take that outside. We're going to run the router down there with a flush cut router bit, whip that off. We've already scribed that corner as well on the 3-metre length, which is outside. So once we've got that done, we can bring them both in, put them on top, and then we can mark our scribe for the cut, and then we can do the cut, and then that one will drop straight in. And then we've got to work out our breakfast bar. So the breakfast bar will basically be visually fitted, roughly cut to length. We will leave it long so we can trim it to fit afterwards, because we need to make sure the overhang is the same, and then we can drop our 2-metre work on top of that, and then we can mark either side to take the edge banding off. And then we can mark the length, and then that should all then drop in. Once we've done that, then we can then take them outside, put our bolt holes in, cut out our sink, cut out our hob, bolt it all together. Stay tuned and we will show you how it's all done. Cheers guys. So to get rid of this edge banding, we're going to clamp a square flat edge along the line so that the edge banding is just off. We're going to clamp that in place. We're going to score a line down there with a sharp knife so we get a clean cut. When it's clamped on, we will flip it over, and then we can run our router in and along to remove the edge. Okay, so we've clamped our straight edge on. Next job is get the router set up to make sure you plunge into the right depth. So I'm going to come down. See, I'm perfect there. So I'm going to lock it in. So my ball bearing is running on the square edge, and I've only got to come up to where I've scribed a knife line there. So I can now turn her on. And there you go, you get that veneer, you get that edge banding off perfectly, you get a nice clean dead straight edge for butting up to. We just want to chisel down that now, clean that off, and we're ready to do our next one. There you go, so that's lovely clean now. It's a chisel just to clean the edge off. So now we're going to lay our other worktop on, which we've already scribed to that end, and we're just going to put a pencil mark under there so we know where we're cutting it. So there you go, so you can now see how perfectly lined up that is. So now we're going to mark the underside of this one using a fine tip pencil. Go underneath here, and we're going to... Okay. Now we've got a line to cut to. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cut to that line, I'm going to come just a couple of mil past it, And then I'm going to use the router to give me a clean line. Okay, so you can see our pencil line. Now we're going to put our straight edge against that. We're going to use the router just to clean that edge up, get a nice finish on it. Okay, so we've got it all on our line now, all the way through. So now we're going to run our router through that. Okay, so we're just going to run the router through there now, starting on our end. Now by making a few passes, it doesn't matter, because sometimes when you're doing that, the router can jump out a little bit. So you make a couple of passes and you should now have, if you look at that, completely flat, perfectly true to our straight edge. Now that, if all's done correctly, should drop straight in, lovely. So if you've done it completely right, you should end up with a really nice tight line. So when the clamps do up, that should pull nice and tight. Put some biscuit joints in that. So that's that side ready to go. Now we've got to do the same thing on that side and on that side. And then when they're done, we will then take them all outside. We'll then router out, and once we're happy, we will mark up where the clamps are going to go. We'll route the clamps out, cut out the hob, cut out the sink, and bolt it all together. Okay, so we've checked our overhang all the way around, and we've given it the same overhang this side, a little bit longer on this edge. We've veneered, we've just put a bit of edge banding on there, just so that you can see how the client wants it, guys. We've also put a return bit of decal panel there, because this is no plaster behind here. You can see the corner bead from the plastering. So by doing that, it just gives them a nice clean finish. You haven't got to fill it, and then they can just paint that edge. We can bring our skirt into that edge, and it just tidies it up, and it gives it a nice little flow. And we got a nice tight scribe there. It's all scribed in there. It's all squared off from there to there. It's exactly the same distance. So that area is square. The corners aren't square, because that wall runs out. But that's why you do scribed worktops. So once the new worktop goes in and we scribe it, it'll look lovely. Okay, so we've now got our last piece of worktop that needs scribing. So we've pencil marked there, so we know where we've got to take our edging off. Same on that side. So now that will go out, have that edging removed. That will go out, have that edging removed, or edge banding, and then we will router all the bolt holes, and then bolt holes on that end, and do the bolt holes on that end, bolt holes on that end, and then we need to try and figure out what we're going to do with this. We're either going to pack that up and put another length of this coming out onto the worktop, so maybe coming out 10 mil so we can get a seal on it, or we're going to try and extend this, which isn't ideal because it gives you a water ingress point. So this has got to be packed up quite a bit, at least another 30 mil it need packing up to put a seal board in there. And I think if we bring it up too high, it will interfere with the windows opening. But we'll get this scribed in, we'll drop it in place, and then we can figure it out from there. So stay with us, guys. Okay, so the bloody weather's turned against us and it's raining, but we've got to carry on anyway. So what we've done now, taken off the edge banding on all the worktops, the breakfast bar, everything else, and now we're going to be notching out for our bolts. Now we're using the trend jig, and with the trend jig, it's quite easy. Front edge is your veneered edge, your back edge This B, so put one in the B there, and then use these B's to butt edge, butt edge, butt edge. Can't go wrong. As long as you go on the back edge every time, you'll be fine. You have to flip this over on some occasions, depending on which hand you're doing of worktop. You're then going to set your jig, your router up. So I've already set it. I've got it set for 10 mil at the minute. We've got to go down about 20 mil. So we're going to do 10 mil, do the 3, go back down, do another 10 mil. Stop. Ready? Right, another 10 mil down, which is easy to gauge because you just look at the depth gauge that you've already got it set to. There you go, so you now set your depth, get your bolts, make sure they are sitting flush, you don't want them proud, and then you've got to do that another 6 times to get all your joints done, and then you've got to do a biscuit joint as well, which we will do in a moment, but for now we're just going to concentrate on getting these cut in, and then we'll come back to the biscuit joint. Okay, so we're now going to use a router biscuit joint cutter, and we're going to set it to roughly centre of the worktop like so. And then we can run it through. When you're doing this, always make sure you do it the same face up. So I'm doing it bottom up. So I've got to do bottom up on all of them. Because otherwise, if I do it on accidentally do it on the other side, biscuits won't line up and it'll cause me problems. So just remember, always do them the same side up. That's 2 batteries that need. Alright. So we just got to do that on every joint now. I've already done that one. I've done this one, so that one can go back in. I've just got to do the other end of this one. We've got to do the breakfast bar, and we've still got to do the sink worktop, which we haven't done yet. Okay, guys, so we've done this one. Absolutely perfect. I mean, look how clean that line is, that mitre. So that's that corner in. We've now scribed the window one. This is one of the downsides with Wren. That one should have gone to the corner there because this base unit goes that way. So now, because this base unit below ends about here, I can't get to that clamp. So I've got to cut a hole in the side of the unit to get to the clamp. And those of you who say, oh, you cut these come pre-sized at 2 meters. So I would never have got it from there. I've literally cut off about 300 mil. So it wasn't ever going to be long enough to go to that point. You know what I mean? And again, we've got the same issue here. Because it's going that way, it's going to be over here. So I've got to cut another hole in this base sheet to try and clamp that one on. So Wrens don't really think about how it works for the fitter when it comes to doing the worktop joins. And obviously, we've got a sink going there. It's not too bad there because the centre of the tap's there, so the bowl's going to be about there. So you're not too close to the joint. And you know, the joints are pretty good when it comes to the sink. That's not really an issue. But we've also done this for the windowsill. Took that stone one out and we've scribed a piece in. Yes, it's not a brilliant scribe, but we're tiling into this corner, so I didn't want it tight. I wanted to move it and play with it. So we're going to glue that in and put some weight on it overnight, so that'll be gone off, and then this would go in and we can do the bolts up on this. We just got to put the biscuit joints in and get them bolted up and get them glued. So we're getting there. It's 2:45. I've had enough for one day. I'm just going to glue that seal board in and then I'm probably going to come back tomorrow for the rest of these worktops. We're just tidying up outside, just clean the lens. There you go. But yeah, we ain't done badly. I haven't got what I wanted to get done, but we've had a lot of in and out with these worktops, trying to get the miters right and scribing and everything else. So yeah, we ain't done badly. Don't forget, guys, like, share, follow, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you soon. Okay, so we ended up staying a little bit later. I just said, sorry, let's just get the worktops jointed. So tomorrow all I've got to do is cut out the hob, cut out the sink, do that corner panel. Or fit that filler, cornice. We've screwed that on to make sure it fits. That can always be unscrewed. It's literally on mirror screws. We've got all our miters are done. These are all absolutely perfect. You know, not a fault to be found with these in here. Another perfect one there. The only way you see it is where obviously you can't help that. Another one here, got a perfect joint. They've all got the perfect same overhang. We've put a little bit of veneer on the edge there to wrap it around. So we've got our return there as well, tidying that corner up, the decal panels on. Obviously we've got to multi-tool all this bottom out to slide the new flooring in, and all the plinths have got to be trimmed, but they've just been put on just to get them done. All the handles are on. All the doors just need adjusting, especially the wall units, because they're just catching, some of them just catching a little bit, so it just needs a lifting up. But looking a bit different now from when we started. Looking a lot different. Now I just cleaned the lens, so look a bit tidier. See, it looks like a kitchen now. Worktops are in. So we've got fridge to sort out, with a shelf. We've got the end panel to put on, which I might leave off now till we get the floor in. But to be honest with you, it's the only end panel, so I might just throw it on and then just multi-tool the bottom out. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing, just for the sake of one bloody end panel. I've got that one's got to be multi-tooled. I've got that one's got to be multi-tooled. That one's got to be multi-tooled. We've got to sail it in. So yeah, I thought I will just, tomorrow I will concentrate, get the kitchen finished, working, so that the electrician can get the hob wired in, and then Wednesday maybe tiling, and then Friday and Thursday maybe smashing out the tiles and finishing the floor off. So I'm not looking too bad. Should be done by the end of the week. Don't forget, guys, like, share, follow, get over to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.